Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Usman Kanko, nice to have you here. Yeah, Michael Ukere, I don't know, Michael, finding a bit to pronounce that name. Michael, good day. It's nice having us here, and we're looking forward to more people joining us as time proceed. So, welcome to today's section. I mean, it's an exciting time. I mean, I've been anticipating this day long before now. I'm Oladmejo Inu, and I'll be the moderator for today's section. So it's nice to have each and everyone here. Today we'll be having an interesting topic. I mean, the world is changing, so is the is cloud computing, cloud security. And what we'll be talking about is what is the future of cloud security. And bringing this to you is AWS West Africa user groups, and it's going to be a very great section with our speakers. So, yes, for AWS Security User Group West Africa, this is a community of cloud enthusiasts, both new and upcoming cloud experts that want to, excel in their cloud career. And that's why we organize sections like these, webinars, talk series, and the likes, even events, right? And we also have community where we relate. And it's great to have each and every one of us who is joining us today. Yes, Ejiro Pepe, that's my my amiable Oga. It's nice to have you here. Welcome to the section. And right here, I'm Oladmejo Eniro, as I've earlier said, and I would like to introduce us to our speakers of today. We have two speakers who will be making doing justice to our questions. First we have Ewere Diagboya. Okay. I, I believe I pronounced that right. Okay. And we have Olusoji Fiyinfoluwa. And talking about Ewere Diagboya, he started his career in tech in 2003. I mean, that is okay. So, and he started as a developer in PHP. Yes. So, okay, and he started his career in the PHP. Okay, and as a developer in PHP, um, and Visual Basic HTML and CSS. He later switched to DevOps and Cloud in 2015. And one big thing about our guy here, I mean, to know that we have a very, very strong resource person on section with us is that Ewere happened to be um, first AWS community hero in Africa, and currently is the author of two books. The first is Infrastructure Monitoring with Amazon CloudWatch, and the second book is Techtionary, which are both available on Amazon. And he loves to talk about cloud computing, DevOps, and innovation around efficient software delivery, technologies, and process. And okay, so that is a bit about Ewere. If you say we should be, counting his achievements, we'll just keep going on and on. I mean, when I check his LinkedIn, I was like, this is our Oga. I mean, that's it. That's in English means boss of bosses. So moving forward, our second speaker is Olusoji Fiyinfoluwa, and he's an accomplished two times AWS Certified Cloud, um, cloud, cloud, and DevOps engineer with expertise in infrastructure, security, and automation. And he holds a bachelor degree in computer science from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. He also has three times Cisco certified network. okay, CCNA certification with a comprehensive approach to cloud and DevOps engineering. Fiyinfoluwa AWS certification reflects his commitment to staying at the forefront of cloud technology, and he has a proven track record of successful collaborating on diverse project enhancing security measures and optimizing operation. So, and I that motivating this event with you is Mamolad Major Eniro. Um, Okay, yes. So I'm Olad Major Eniro, and I have a background in branding. I'm a cloud enthusiast and a community ambassador at the AWS West Africa Cloud Security User Group. And in my own way, I actively contribute to the cloud environment. So yes, while we do the introduction and other related things, so can you tell us where you are joining us from? I mean, country and state. You know, I know some of us are joining us from LinkedIn. Some of us are joining us from hi NS Moremi. Joining us from Kenya. It's nice to have you here. Abiola Shobjovi. We have, yes, Ejiro Pepe. We have Usman Tanko. So you can just keep dropping in as from where you are joining us from. Okay, so I also like to also acknowledge the leadership. First of all, Oga Promise, Mr. Promise Uche Onwanchuku, who is AWS Security West Africa group leader for this our community. Thanks for this. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and also I also want to appreciate Blessing Ogechi Unwojichi. Okay, so and other leaders in the house. Yes. Okay, so we'll be starting now. I mean, to the back to the real business of the day, and what the focus will be on asking them questions. So as I ask them these questions, please also ensure to collate your own questions, and if there's any question you want to ask related to the future of cloud computing, you can drop them in, and we sure definitely attend to them later. So, okay, I think I'm going to start with Ewere, and I'm going to the first question I would be like to ask is Ewere, yeah, my question is, how can a strong understanding of cloud security empower individual to shape the future of digital innovation, knowing the importance of cloud security and the changes that is happening in the global space. So again, how can a strong understanding of cloud security empower individual to shape the future of digital innovation? Thank you.
Okay. Hello, hello. Thank you very much for that introduction. Just want to confirm you can hear me very well.
Yes,
All
I can.
right.
I believe others also.
Okay. Great. Hello, everyone. For wherever you are connecting with us, thank you for joining us. My name is Ewere. You already did a lot of introduction already. Okay. So let's go straight to the question. How can a strong understanding of cloud security empower individuals to shape the future? Basically, I'm going to start from the word security. Let's take away cloud. Let's talk about security. We all know the importance of security generally. I mean, if you don't have a door in your house, we know what it means. If you don't lock the door in your house, we know what it means. So let's go to the foundation of what security is supposed to do. Security is supposed to help us to ensure that we are able to keep things safe. It is when things are safe, then you can now make changes. So let's assume you get an apartment and you just pull out the door from the apartment and you get this new shiny beautiful Samsung TV for say 400,000 naira, and then you sleep off. The next morning you wake up and the TV is gone and you're surprised. What's going on? My TV is gone. What happened? I mean, basically it's because you are not secured. So tomorrow you say, okay, maybe I forgot something, and then you go and get this beautiful sofa from a very expensive furniture house, and you sleep and you wake up the next day. And I mean, even in Lagos we are in, you don't even need to sleep. You just need to take a step out of your house and come back. And trust me, um, you're not going to find that anymore. So how does security connect with development, basically, and innovation? If you cannot secure what you have, you cannot grow more than what you have because it's not properly secured. I've given the basic example of, imagine having an apartment without a door in it. basically you are not going to grow more than that. You are going to grow as much as your security, basically. So your innovation will be stifled by your security. Your level of growth will be determined by your level of security. The more secure you are, the faster you grow. The less secure you are, the more stunted your growth is, basically. So that's basically how innovation and security work together. Your depth of understanding of security, both in and out of your environment, of your systems, will help to improve the security innovation of your business. Let's go to another example when we talk about cloud security and for businesses that want to innovate. Let's take, for example, you have product A and you're trying to start up product B. And in product B, you have a lot of innovations around improving the availability of your system, improving scalability of your system. Take, for example, in AWS, you decide to use Amazon S3 and you deploy S3 bucket for your websites, which is serverless, highly scalable. And for some reason, you didn't apply the proper security policies to your bucket and to your CloudFront distribution. And in a couple of days, your website gets hacked. So automatically that part of your business is totally gone. You don't have a business anymore in that aspect. Now, whatever innovation you were trying to create in that aspect of your business is totally gone. Why? Because you did not enforce proper security controls and guardrails to make sure that that particular system does not get invaded by malicious actors. Whether you like it or not, malicious actors are working day in, day out to ensure that they get into systems maliciously and more or less destroy everything that they can find there. Or for ransomware, take it, back it up, and ask you to pay some amount of money. And trust me, you never get that data back in ransomware. It's one of the scariest thing when it comes to security. So what security does for you is that the better security you have, the better innovation you can get, the better growth you can get, because you are able to secure your existing system and properly secure new systems and continue to grow from that point on.
Okay, thanks very much for that analogy, especially the practical approach that you brought in. So I would like to direct the same question also to Fiyinfoluwa, and which is how does security connect with development and growth? So I would like to get your take on that too, Fiyinfoluwa.
Okay. Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. Hello, Oladmeji and Ewere. Like Ewere already said, like he has already murdered the the question already. Like he has given us a very good explanation about it. So basically, the future of cloud, like in the coming years, is something that is already here. It's not even like it's already coming. It's already here. Like almost all the businesses are now moving to the cloud. They are moving their products to the cloud. They are migrating their data center to the cloud because having data center now is like more expensive, like very, very expensive. So people move their their infrastructures now to the cloud. So now moving your infrastructure to the cloud is something that, oh, you want to make sure that, okay, you want to spend less and at the same time give people like a good product. So now doing that, having that in place now, you have to also make sure that your product is secure. Like Mr. Ewere said, with the analogy of the TV, the Samsung TV, like you bought a 400,000 TV in your house and you don't have a door outside, there's no way your TV will be safe. So now, the having strong understanding of cloud security is what we now make it to know. Okay, now my product are safe. My product are very, very well secure. Talking about the S3 that he said, if you don't put like the right measures in it, people can easily hack into your data, into your storage and have access to your data. So now you want to like protect your data in the real sense. You want to secure your product in the real sense, in as much as you want it to be like scalable and very, very available for everybody to have access to it. You also want it to be very secure. Now, security is like a vital role. The security is a vital role, like in the tech space, because if your if your products or if your infrastructure or if your technology are not well secured, then there's no way is moving forward. Like he made mention, like there's no way your product are moving forward if people can see that, oh, I'm using this product and my stuffs are not safe. They'll be like, oh, I can't use this anymore. Then you lose customers, you lose clients, and so on. Let's take a look at the fintech, for example. Now, like there are a lot of fintech now, and people like patronizes them very well. So now, for in the essence, now let's say there's no like a good security measure in place, and people's money are being stolen from that particular platform. Nobody wants to like patronize them, so they have to like put very strong security measures and compliance in place, like to make sure their their application is well secured. So yeah, security is like a vital role for the.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, approach. I mean, one thing I, I mean, the outro of what you said is that, when people know that your platform is not secure, people really don't want to do business with you, and that's come to the aspect of perception. I mean, from my understanding of from my own background of branding, you understand that the way people actually relate with you is a function of, I mean, how well they you certify them, and also satisfy those that have one or two experience with you. So thanks very much for that, again, Fiyinfoluwa. So yes, this time around I will be directing my question to Fiyinfoluwa, and the next question is, what are the potential career advancement and opportunity that await those who excel in the cloud? Knowing that, those who are watching this right now, I don't know the level at Atitolada Pawoshika is, or Gloria Ramia, right? We have those who are new to the cloud, and we have those who are already, doing professionally in the cloud. So for the cloud entity and those who are already in the cloud, what are the potential career advancement and opportunity that await those who excel in security?
Okay, thank you for the question. So the potential advancement and opportunity is that, like I made mention earlier, like securing a cloud space is like a vital role. Like it's very vital. Like cloud security is very vital. So knowing that is a vital role, like it will create opportunities for everybody, for people that are interested in like going into the career path. Because now there's nobody that will like create an application and does not want to make it secure. You get, and some companies go as far as going out to like find third party security engineers to just come and help them secure their products. Look, because the product has already passed the stage of, oh, I want to have this product out there. Okay, your product is out there. What do you want? Like, how are you making sure your product is like safe? How are you making sure your customers are satisfied with like sharing their data with you? Let's take the healthcare insurance. Let's take the healthcare for as an example now. A lot of people, a lot of healthcare spaces a lot of healthcare spaces like have their data stored in one storage or the other. Like there's a company in the US that is called Thread. What Thread does is basically help some what they do is like um help medical units to like store their research on their own platform. Now, situation whereby you have a very, very technical document that are being stored in their cloud space now. So you want to like make sure it's secure in whatsoever way. And like I made mention earlier that cloud computing is like something that everybody will be virtually going into in the future. Like most companies, even in Nigeria here, are migrating into the cloud. So migrating into the cloud will create like more opportunities for people that want to like we create more opportunities for cloud security because they also have to like secure their cloud the way they secure their data center. So now there's a lot of like virtual, there will be like virtual, there will be a lot of opportunities for people that are interested to like go into cloud security. But you can't just say, okay, because there's opportunity here, let me just go into it. You have to like have the basic knowledge. You have to like go as far as doing research, knowing like the latest vulnerability measures that need to be done in place, knowing um the latest mitigation attacks that are put in place. Like you have to like have the knowledge, like grow yourself and be make sure the way the role is vital. You as a person too, you are a very important person that they want to like bring on board to like secure their products for them. So yeah, there's like a lot. There's virtually no company that doesn't want to have a cloud security on their team, and because there are not much people like diverting into cloud security itself. Now, companies go as far as going to third party companies like all these IT consultants firm to like find a cloud security that they'll just work with till they could like find someone of their own. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity in cloud security. Like if you want to like join into it.
Oh, okay, okay. Thanks very much, Fiyinfoluwa. I mean, going into cloud myself as a cloud enthusiast, I know that because compared to managing your IT infrastructure on site and moving to cloud actually poses a number of challenges and threats. And with my level of research of understanding, okay, what is cloud, what is essence of cloud, it's most times one of the things that's often being mentioned and stated is the issue of security. So security is a very, very big thing because you want to secure your assets. You want to secure each and everything that you are putting up and out there. So thanks for the light you have shared. So I would like to direct the same question to our guy. Okay, okay. So which is what are the potential career like? Okay, I'm new into cloud. I'm starting from new into cloud, and what are the potential career advancement and opportunity that await those await me? And even if I'm already in cloud already, and I'm looking forward to the cloud security space, what are the advancement that I can actually enjoy considering the future of cloud computing, cloud security?
Okay, so I personally see security in a very different light when it comes to engineering, because I think cloud security is already evolving and is going to evolve more, because security in those days used to be a more of a position that stays on the back burner. What I mean by that is, number one, security used to always be an afterthought. Number two, security used to be more of an observatory role than an implementation role. I'm going to explain that better. And then number three, security people are usually people who do not have in-depth knowledge into systems they are working on. They just more or less use tools, perform scans, come out with reports, and share reports. So, but security is going above that. Okay. Now, number one, when I talk about observatory than implementation, they just most times security people in organizations are just people who tell you, oh, this firewall is open, you need to close it. Oh, there is a security bug in your code, you need to fix it. Oh, there is a that's not what security is going to be in the future. Security is going to be a security engineer seeing a security issue and fixing it. You see the issue and you fix. So you are not just observing. You know what to fix, you know what to do because you understand the system. Okay. Now, another thing about security too that is key is infrastructure as code. Apart from DevOps engineers understanding things like Terraform, CloudFormation, who says a security expert cannot? They still have to, because if a non-security expert is writing certain infrastructure as code script, most times you don't put security in perspective. That's the truth. You don't think about security. You just want to set up your infrastructure and you are good to go. But when you bring in what they call DevSecOps, I know it's a statement that flies around. So when you bring in DevSecOps, you see the security there plays a very vital role. So it has to be in a state where security plays a role. So two things. Number one, You either add security guardrails to your process of setting up infrastructure, or the security engineers are also there to review the code when they are being reviewed before they get deployed. So security is going to be part of the infrastructure and application and product delivery process. It's not something that happens at the end. So when you have released your product, when you have launched that service, you now say, oh, we need to start securing our systems. No, it has to be something that you do from the get-go. So for example, WAF is a service called Web Application Firewall. Okay. Now, WAF is supposed to be something you implement at the point of deployment, at the point of delivery to production. But what you see most times is people do not think about WAF. Think about WAF later. When they have deployed and the company is making millions of naira or dollars, and they say, oh, we don't have a WAF. We need to go and set up WAF. That is not the way to go. If you are following the advancements in security, you should first of all use infrastructure as code to set up and manage your infrastructure lifecycle. That's step one. And then step two, your security engineer should be there to review this code and say, you know what, this code is not secure enough, and implement those security features. Now, one of the advantages of having infrastructure as code knowledge is that it helps you to version your code. It helps you to version your changes. And it also makes it easy for anyone to contribute to it, unlike making the changes from your UI. That's one major difference infrastructure as code brings for you. So cloud security engineers should start understanding infrastructure as code, cloud formation, Terraform, CDK, whatever tool that helps you to manage infrastructure. You need to be involved in that process. And then lastly, to cap it up, is AI. Now, security engineers have to start looking at what AI can do for them in terms of security. But I'm going to talk about that more subsequently. But basically, infrastructure as code, being involved in the delivery process of applications, and not being observers anymore, but implementers when you find a security flaw and you fix it.
Okay, thank you very much, Ewere, for that. Um, yes. So, I mean, one key thing that Ewere stated is that the security space, class security space, is actually evolving to a more active and um, more active role, more active role than the passive role. And yes, so we I believe you can see hear us, guys. We are taking some questions now. So if you have any question, we'll definitely attend to them. Please ensure to drop them on the go. That way we can attend to them as they come in. There is a question here. Though I will have said that it's not totally related to the topic we are discussing, but I believe for the person to be asking, it means something to the person. So the question there is, what is the difference between DevOps and cloud engineering? So I don't know who would like to go on that. Um,
Yeah, I can go on that.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
mean, it's always a very controversial topic, question, or system. But basically, I think I'll try and debunk it here, and hopefully a lot of us understand the difference. Cloud engineering is a role. DevOps is a principle. They're two different things. So it's like saying that you want to bake cake. There's a process for baking cake. There is a start and there is a finish. That's how you know your finished products. Okay. But there is a technique to doing it. Okay. And there are tools involved in doing it. Okay. So they are separate entities. The process of making cake can evolve. The tools can also evolve independently. So that's why sometimes for you to draw the line between DevOps and cloud engineering are pretty much difficult. But like I mentioned, DevOps is a process. It's a method of software delivery. There is also you can also deliver software without DevOps. Okay, it's very possible. People have been doing it for years before DevOps came into being. But cloud, on the other hand, it's a method of infrastructure delivery. Okay, you can see the difference. DevOps is a method of software delivery, while cloud is a method of infrastructure delivery. What cloud is telling you is you don't need to set up your own servers anymore. come and pay me an amount of money and I will give you servers and I'll manage it for you. I'll take care of it for you. I'll protect it for you. You don't have to worry about server. That's what cloud is saying. So the engineering behind that is everything that has to do with someone who understands how the cloud works and setting up things in the cloud and managing things in the cloud. You can know cloud very well and have no idea about DevOps. Okay? You can know AWS so well. You can understand all the services, EC2, S3, Lambda functions, and you have no idea about what DevOps is about. Okay? You can also know DevOps very well and don't even know any cloud provider. It's very possible. So a lot of people who started their careers as system administrators and transition into DevOps. Okay, that's another road to system administration, which we're not talking about here, but it's kind of the younger brother of DevOps. Okay, now those people who transition from system administrator into DevOps most times do not understand the cloud. Okay, because in DevOps you understand more automated way of software delivery. You understand feedback loop systems. You understand version control. You understand release management. Those are techniques of delivering software in an efficient and repeatable manner with a lot of guardrails and controls along the pipeline or along the process of that delivery process. Okay, but cloud does not talk about delivery process for software. Cloud talks more about environment. Okay, security of the environment, scalability of the environment, availability of the environment. While DevOps talks about how can we deliver this software faster? Okay, how can we scale the software faster? How can we improve the time for us to deliver from when a developer pushes their code to the environment or to the customer's hand? How can we ensure that we understand what is going on in our environment, in our systems, observability at every point in time? How can we ensure that we have proper build process that makes us to know when there are issues in our code, integration tests, unit tests? These are all the things that DevOps talks about. How do we reduce our build time to ensure that the time to build and to deploy is really faster? How do we optimize our scripts to make sure that they are not too bogus? These are the things DevOps talks about. So the difference is this. While I'm just compounding all the differences. Lastly, while cloud is focused on the infrastructure and all that goes with it, DevOps focuses on the components you are going to build and deploy into that infrastructure. But unfortunately, they are usually intertwined. They are mixed up together. But most times, people learn more of cloud before they learn DevOps. That's what usually happens because, I mean, cloud has more, should I call it structure? You have cloud providers. Okay, when you get to cloud provider A, you follow their steps, you learn EC2, you learn AC, you learn this, you learn that, you learn that. Yeah. But in the whole process, you really don't learn the whole automation of how to deliver software there. You also know how to deliver it there. You can actually zip a file and upload into S3 and it's going to work. You can zip a website and upload into EC2, it's going to work. Okay, but what is the problem with that process? It is not efficient. It is not repeatable. It is prone to errors. So what DevOps does for you is that it gives you the skills, the techniques, and the tools to ensure that that method you are using to deliver that software is more efficient, it's more repeatable, it's more scalable too. Scalability, talking about the member, if you have more than one person. So if you have 10 people that need to deliver that software, if you don't use a DevOps process, you're going to cause a lot of chaos. People used to use flash drives to deploy applications. Flash drives. When you build an application, you copy the flash drive, you go to the server, you plug the flash drive. That is not DevOps, but you could also do it in the cloud. So you see that you can do cloud without DevOps, and you can do DevOps without cloud. You can actually. So those who are running on-premise systems do not have a cloud environment. They have their own servers, but you can actually set up DevOps tools and services to deploy more efficiently, but you are not running on the cloud. You are running on-premise, and we have Nigerian businesses that are really doing that. They've been doing that for many years. They are still doing that. There are also some businesses abroad that need to meet some compliant and regulatory conformities. So they have to deploy locally, run their own environment, and they are not running cloud architecture, but they are using the DevOps principles. So that's my own take on the difference between both concepts and systems.
Okay, thanks very much. And Olo Pade Ezekiel, I believe your question has been answered. As I earlier said, if you have any question relating to the future of cloud security, please, or cloud in general, ensure to drop your question here. So we'll be moving on to the next question, and I'll be directing the next question to my Oga Fiyinfoluwa Olusoji. Yes. So, and the question is can you share practical tips for individual that want to begin their journey into world of cloud security and cybersecurity? Because as we have been saying on this section, right? We talked about. I mean, you point you point our attention to the fact that the adoption of the cloud space, cloud computing in this part of the world, Africa to be specific, is increasing, and so is the need for um, those who manage and protect it, which where the cloud security comes in. So for anyone who see this projection, I want to leverage on this opportunity. What will you say are the practical tips for individual who want to begin their career journey into the world of cloud security and cyber security?
Okay, practical tips. Well, personally, if I'm to give like tips on where they can start with, have to like start from the basics generally. Like you have to understand what the cloud is, like how the cloud operates, and what's how to use the cloud in general. So now going to the basics now, you have to like go like introduction into the cloud. You have to like have a roadmap on how you want to like learn. So now there are ways you where you can learn, like check you can like use YouTube, LinkedIn, and Medium. Like just do research on, okay, I want to like go into cloud security. Is cloud security you're going into, but then you have to like understand the cloud first, how the cloud works, how like the services in the different cloud space works. Like we have different cloud provider. We have AWS, we have Azure, we have Google, and there are many other ones, but those are the three major cloud providers that we have that most companies use. So now going into cloud security, you have to have the knowledge and understanding of it that okay, this is what I want to learn. Then there are a lot of things, there are a lot of technologies that you need to know before you can say, oh, you want to be very, very good in this aspect. And you have to have like a like I said, you have to have a roadmap of how you want to study. You can get into YouTube, like look for videos on the introduction aspect of the cloud, like do like a certification courses, like AWS Cloud Practitioner for the introductory part of it. Then move ahead after the introductory part. You can go ahead and do like maybe solution architect, like to know how to like implement, how to design, how to maintain a cloud environment. So because you have to have this basic knowledge before you can secure it. So there's a background. Oh, sorry about the background sound. It's on outside actually. So as I was saying, you have to have the basic knowledge, understand how to implement your resources on the cloud, how to maintain your resources on the cloud, how to like design a robust infrastructure that can be secure. So now, understanding how to do all this, you now can go ahead as going into like, okay, let me now go to where I want to specialize in, which is cloud security. Then you can go ahead and take cloud security certifications as well. So taking certification and learning is not the only way you can begin the journey. Those are just like the practical. Those are just like let's just say normally if you want to excel in life, you have to understand what you are doing. You have to like study well. So after studying, you have to like practicalize what you have studied, because is when you start practicing that you start understanding and you start like memorizing and you start knowing what you're doing, like having that broader knowledge of what you're doing. So study study, take on projects online, then look for, okay, it's not about just taking on projects alone. Whatever project you are doing, you have to like have the initiative that, okay, this is the application I want to build. What are the steps in making sure it's secure? Do you get? What are the steps in making sure it's secure? So now when you're already having like this kind of question that, okay, what are the steps in making sure it's secure, that will like make you now want to like do more research on how to secure your applications. Do you get? So now, so you just have to like do broad research, and then follow up with couple of projects, follow up with couple of YouTube videos, like to see how it's been done before, and then replicate what has been done before. Then do your documentation, because you can actually study and do a project, but when it comes to documenting it, you might not know how to document it. So now documentation will help you understand better, like when you're writing it down, that okay, this is how I did my VPC, created my VPC environment. I use NAT gateway to I use NAT gateway to secure my private subnet. Using that gateway now, make sure that your private subnet is not exposed to the public, instead of using internet gateway. Internet gateway is like a way you can route your resources on your subnet level to the internet. But using that gateway, you have already like secured your own resources on your subnet level. That way, people that way your resources can get into the internet, but the people on the internet cannot enter your resources, because there's already like a security measure, which is in that gateway, that is blocking it. And they are secure. You can use security group too as well. So now, having like documentation of all this down, you can understand. Having the documentation down now, you can now know that, okay, these are the things I've done. Like when you want to like do it again, you still have that memory, because you have documented it down, and you can go back to the documentation in case like you can't remember some steps you've taken before, and you want to like do more projects, and you need what you've done before, so you can go back to the documentation and all that. So look for courses online, do courses online. From there, take on projects. From there, document what you've done, put it on Medium. When it's on Medium, like people online who can give you contribution, they can add more knowledge to it, more light to what you've done and all that. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thanks very much for the explanation. And yes, I mean, people he has said a lot about how to go around that, right? I mean, starting your career in cloud cloud security and cyber security. Okay, so one other thing I would like to add is community helps a lot for I mean, and I'm a good I'm a testifier of that. Like joining community have allowed me to meet some number of people, allowed me to learn from number of people, learn experience and stuff. And one of those communities, AWS or West Africa Security User Group. Okay, so and for you to another definitely other cloud-based community, and I believe I'm not part of any specialized. Okay, aside AWS Security West Africa company, I'm not part of any other specialized security company. Another specialized security group that you can find yourself. I will advise you also join that. And if you are here and you're not part of AWS Security classic cloud community of this our own community West Africa, you can do that by go through our Twitter, AWS Cloud Security User Group West Africa, and you can join me through Meetup there. Okay, and I believe Blessing will also be. I mean, okay, maybe we'll be sharing the link also here before we leave this section. Okay, so Chilma Okafor, she sent in a question, and this time I'll be directing this question to Ewere. The question is I believe this is a she. Okay, I don't know. The question is, how important is the knowledge of different cloud platform, AWS, Amazon Web Service, Azure, Google Cloud, and the likes for cloud security engineer. And this person is asking, should I focus on a specific platform initially? If you ask me, I will say yes. Okay, because that was the advice I was giving when I was entering into cloud computing in general, and I focus on I'm focusing on AWS to be specific. So now I would like to throw the question to Ewere to give us um, perspective to that question.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, Choma. I saw your question before Oladimeji asked it. Ah, I think I know where the question is coming from. I personally, I also have that struggle in programming sometimes. Everybody has that struggle. The problem is that there's so many environments, there's so many platforms, there's so many services, there's so many tools, there's so many things just bombarding you. You know, you go and see a friend and he tells you, "Oh, I'm doing Google Cloud. Google Cloud is very nice. It does this, it does that. It's even cheaper than AWS." Someone else say, "Oh, Microsoft is the best. I use Microsoft Azure. It's very good. Microsoft is a very old company." Other person say, "Oh, I use AWS. AWS is very nice. They're very." The truth is this: the concept of cloud is same across board. The concept is the same. What is different is the flavors. Okay, it's like cars. Okay, if you understand the basic principle of a car, you can drive almost any car. The only thing is when you get into another car, you might need to re-understand some principles of that car that might be different. Okay, so same thing happens in the cloud. The principles of cloud computing are pretty much the same. Like I explained earlier, cloud is to help you set up infrastructure without having to set up your own servers. That's why my book is very important, Dictionary. We'll share the link later so that you understand some of these concepts. I'm always scared to use huge concepts when I'm talking so that everybody can get what I'm trying to say. Basically, the cloud just makes it easy for you to have a server, have a computer that you can manage, you can control that your own, and you pay for it depending on if you want to pay per hour, per day. There are different billing methods that exist. If you understand that basic concept, okay, you can take that concept to any cloud provider and it applies. Now, the only difference you get when you move from provider to provider is that um, it's just like the gear of some cars. Some cars will tell you, oh, for you to reverse, you have to take the gear to the back. Some cars will say, for you to reverse, you take the gear to the front. Some cars will say, oh, we don't have a lever on the side, we keep it on the steering. Some cars will say, oh, you don't drive on the left hand side, you drive on the right hand side. You know, these are all, should I call them innuendos? But the concept is that it's a car with four wheels with an engine that moves. A cloud is an environment that requires you not to have your own servers. You can create your servers and you pay per time. Same concept across board. Same concept. But when you get into AWS, you start seeing things like EC2, S3. When you get to another place like Azure, you start seeing virtual machines, blob storage. Same concept. Just the method of use that is a bit different. So the same advice that Oladimeji is talking about still stands. Take one and learn very well. Your
Okay.
choice to learn more than one environment should be based on opportunities. Okay, that's how we'll put it. Let it be based on opportunity. So if there's an opportunity to get into Azure and they're like, oh, we need people for Azure. If you have any knowledge of Azure, you can go and pick Azure and learn it. The last set of people who learn many cloud environments are what we call enterprise architects. Okay. Now, for big organizations like the Big Five, I'm talking about people like Ernst and Young, Deloitte, and all those consulting companies. You could have a situation where you need someone who has a very clear overview of every cloud provider. Because in those organizations, they consult for big governments, media companies, and all those companies. Now they enter conversations where they say, we need someone to tell us the pros and the cons of these different environments. Because trust me, all cloud providers are not the same. Like I said the concept of cloud is the same, but all providers do not have the same capacity, they do not have the same services, they do not have the same functionality. There's a difference. Okay, that's a conversation for another day. So it is left for this architect who understands AWS, who understands Azure, who understands Google Cloud, and the other many competitions that are there, other many cloud providers. Trust me, to sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to give you a very, very detailed documentation or a proposal to say, this is AWS, this is Google Cloud, this is Azure, and start breaking them down and give to the client and say, these are the different providers, this is what they have based on what you have, and this is what we recommend. That is when your knowledge of every provider might be very valuable. But trust me, the truth is that it is a lot of energy learning every cloud provider. When you really do not implement, you know what happens? You forget. You're going to forget what you learned because you have never worked with it, you have never implemented what you learned, and trust me, in a few months you are going to forget what you learned. So that's why it's always advisable that you pick one provider, learn that provider, be very good at it, and then when the opportunity comes for you to learn another one, you can always borrow the knowledge from where you are to where you want to be. So you don't get yourself confused with learning so many providers, and at the end of the day, there's no value for you. Okay, so those are the scenarios and how and when. So multi-cloud, like it is called, is not impossible. It happens. There's a guy on LinkedIn, EG Lang. You can check him out. EG Lang. He has all the certifications from all the cloud providers in the world. All. Okay. But if you check his role, he's actually a director of engineering in AIG. AIG is an insurance company, very big. He used to be in Deloitte as also a director of cloud, obviously, because these are consulting firms that have different customers with different choices, different services. So his understanding of these different environments helps him in delivering his job properly. So that's my response.
Okay. Um, yes, thank you very much. I think yes, thank you very much, Ewere. Thanks for the clarity on that, and I believe Shuma. I believe you are satisfied with that answer. Okay, so our time is. I mean, we should be rounding up by now. So we have like two more questions before we round up. I mean, we have about 6 minutes approximately. Okay, so I'll be directing this question to Fiyinfoluwa Olusoji, which is how can learning cloud security open doors to exciting project and collaboration in the tech industry? How can learning cloud security open doors to exciting projects and collaboration in the tech industry?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So, like Ewere once like said earlier when we started the webinar, he said cloud security is more than just like monitoring your infrastructure. There are a lot of things you need to put in place for cloud security to secure your infrastructure. So now, after learning like cloud security, like the opportunity is now like there now that okay, people are now getting to know that oh, you actually have to like put security in place even before you go ahead to deploy your projects, to deploy your applications and the likes. So now they will now have to like look for the best of the best cloud security engineer that okay, come on board as we've built our application. We want to like host it, we want to like deploy it to the deploy it to the world to like start making use of it. The cloud security guy will come in and like he said, infrastructure as code. There are security measures you need to put in place at that end. The security measures you need to put in place in doing versioning. There are security measures to put in place in virtually all the parts of the IT space. So now, being a cloud engineer, a cloud security engineer now, you have like the opportunity to help them sort out that you have the opportunity to help them sort out the issues that might be arising. So now, having a cloud security engineer now, we now help them like do like preventive measures um, instead of corrective measures in the end run. So now, a cloud security engineer will like come to the team, help them put measures in place to like prevent whatever attack might be coming in the future. So now, so yeah, having cloud security engineer is like going to be like top notch in the future. like presently currently.
Okay, thanks very much, Fiyinfoluwa, for the response. So, now I would like to get your perspective on this question. I will be directing this one to Ewere, uh, which is what is your own advice here that you will give to those who are considering a career change or transitioning into cloud security, and how can they embark on this journey with confidence? I believe Fiyinfoluwa said some things about that, and I also talked about joining community like AWS Security User Group, West Africa, and other related communities. So, what would be your advice to those who are interested in joining, in embarking on career or transitioning into cloud security career?
Whew. Ah, how do I answer this? As much as I like the question, the answer is scary. So I've worked with people who have done career transitioning twice. It's really a tough journey. I've worked with a lecturer. I've also worked with someone who has no tech background, more or less, and it can be daunting. It can be daunting. What I can just say is, if you are transitioning into tech, please, my heart goes to you. I wish you all the best, because um it's kind of a very new environment. It's kind of a very new place. So you just have to be patient with yourself. I'm going to debunk some things. Please don't get carried away with the ads that you see that tells you in 1 week you become an engineer, in 2 months you become. Please, those are lies. Please, I beg of you, don't spend your money on anything that tells you you'll be an engineer in 1 week. I know some Nigerian companies that are doing this, and it's quite unfair, because the truth is, when you get in there after your certification, when you get into the business and you are given a task to do and you have no idea about it, it's just a matter of time before you be kicked out. So, most of the time, for every engineering role, okay, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, software engineer, I'd say 6 months to 1 year. 6 months to 1 year of learning. When I mean learning, rigorous learning, projects, scenarios, examples, um, internships. These are the things that will help boost your skill, because trust me, anybody can do a certification, and anybody can study a course in security for a month and carry a paper and say, and post it on LinkedIn and say, I'm certified. But trust me, when we get into the real world and the nitty gritties of solving issues, you might just see yourself getting confused and like, I wasn't taught this, I wasn't taught that. So just calm down, take your lessons, learn what you need to learn, and look for opportunities to grow. Like the Meji talked about communities, very beautiful place to meet people that are more experienced, that can guide you. Read more, struggle for opportunities for internships. That is how you can grow. So it's not impossible to switch careers into security, into cloud. It's not impossible, but you have to be ready for the ride, because it can be a bit bumpy. It can be a bit frustrating. I used to train people who, my class used to be 6 months, people drop off in the third week.
Like,
Immediately they see Linux terminal, they drop off in the third week. When they see a Linux terminal, they drop off. They just stop. They're like,
sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
so
you. I think his network is.
Okay.
can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes, we can
So
hear you now.
yeah, so that's what I would love to say. You can transition, just be ready for the journey after your training, whatever training you choose to take, wherever you choose to take your training. There are some things you need to remember after your training. Look for people who are ahead of you, let them be your mentors. Try to look for opportunities for internships for at least between 6 months to 1 year. Then you can say, yes, I have transitioned into a security expert, or I'm an engineer at this point. Please don't do a 2 weeks course and come and say you know security. You don't know
Hmm.
anything about security, unfortunately. So that's my
Yeah,
feedback.
the truth can actually be bitter, right? I mean, If you check, as he has said, if you check these people that are advertising for this training, they are people, they want to cash out. They want to cash out, and the information can be misleading, and you won't know until maybe after 6 months of you have paid, you have, and you're like, I'm not getting the promise. I this thing. So okay, so I also like Fiyinfoluwa to also take that. I believe that will be our okay. It will be our last question because we have some other question to talked about this same question of your advice, right, for whosoever. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll be done here in less than maximum 8 minutes from now. The advice for those who are considering career change or transition. So, in 2 minutes, can you, share us on share with us on that?
Yeah, I also have like same advice as he has, because if you want to like transition into cloud, you shouldn't like just think, oh, it's something you can do very fast. Like it's something that takes time, takes a lot of process. So you have to like take your time. You have to like put the mindset that, oh, I'm not going for a
Yeah. Yes.
fast route. Like I'm going in to like know this for knowing sake. So like you have to like take your time, 6 to 1 year, understand what you're doing, then
Mhm.
do projects. Like I've been mentioning like doing project, and internship too is like very very crucial, because doing projects and actually and doing projects and being in a environment whereby in a working environment is actually two different things. You can take on a project now, and when you start working in an environment, you feel like, oh, I've done this before, but it looks different right now. Like the working space is actually different from how it is. Like, so you have to try and see if you can get internship, so
Yeah.
like to like increase your confidence level, to
Yeah.
let you know that, oh, I've been studying, and what I've been studying, I understand what I've been studying, and I know what I'm doing. I'm getting the skills I need to get. You get, so internship, study hard, and don't, like you said, don't fall for all those ones that we say, oh, in 2 months you get it. No. And just don't study to just have the certification, because certification and the experience is two different things.
Yeah.
What certification we just do is just like give you a higher edge when it comes to like job opportunities.
Yeah.
When it comes to like job opportunities, that's what certification like we help in. So just do the certifications for that, then study hard, do projects, find internship, and you'll be fine.
Okay. So please, I believe you can see the link to our link tree. When you go through that link, right, you'll be able to see each of every of our platform, from Meetup to Twitter and the likes. So yes, thanks very much for that, right? We really appreciate. Okay. So we're running up, but before we finally round up, everyone will be sharing us some things about a book that is coming up. I mean, it's live now, right, sir?
Oh yes, it is.
Okay, can you share with us briefly on that?
Yeah. So dictionary it's like a dictionary basically. I mean, we've been using a lot of terms here. You heard Fiyinfoluwa were talking about VPCs, subnets, NAT gateways. I was just confused when he was talking about those terms. So these are things that happen. You know, some of these technical terms, you start asking yourself, NAT. Somebody will go to Google and type NAT gateway and see a NAT gateway is a distributed network address translator that helps you to translate them. And then the person is like, oh my God, I thought I wanted to know the meaning of a NAT gateway. What's going on here? I call these things circular definitions, where you are trying to find the meaning of something and the meaning is defined in the definition. Okay. Somebody says, what's the meaning of subnet? You say subnet is a sub of a network. That's like repeating the definition. Okay. So what dictionary does for you basically is that it takes these terms, and I have spent time to look for simple language that explains how they what they mean. Okay. So if you need to know the meaning of some of these words, dictionary gives you simple definitions with real life explanations that you can work with. You see, when I was talking about security, I started with opening the door of your house. These are the kind of definitions that I have in the book. that gives you real life scenarios to these terms, because one of the major blockers I know people have in cloud is understanding the meaning of a term before they can move further. I personally was trying to learn something in Kubernetes recently, and because of the term, I spent almost 2 hours trying to find a definition. Trust me, I didn't understand it, because everybody kept on. It's like people copy definitions on the internet and just copy and paste and copy. So when you go to 8 websites, you discover that you see the same definitions. It doesn't make any sense. But what Techtionary has done is that the definitions are not from the internet. So if you check the definition I have on the book, and what you have on the internet, they are very different, because I took time out to look at, from my experience, scenarios, systems, and what we can relate with in our day-to-day life, and created definitions from there. Let me give an example. EC2 in AWS is called Elastic Cloud Compute. But in the book, we said EC2 is a computer. EC2 is a laptop that you connect to, and you have everything a computer has. The way you have your desktop, the way you have your mouse, the way you have your keyboard, the way you have where you can install softwares, that's what an EC2 instance is. But if you go to AWS and check the meaning of EC2, you will not get that definition. EC2 is an elastic compute cloud that scales infinitely with EBS volumes, and that just puts a newbie off totally. But if I tell you that EC2 is just a server, it's just that you don't have access to the server directly, it's remote in a location, it makes more sense. So that's basically what Techtionary is all about. And you can get it at a very affordable rate. The book is quite affordable. The seller link will be shared for you to get a copy. It's an e-copy, so you can read anywhere, on your phone, your laptop, anywhere. Thank you very much. Oh, we lost Ladimeji there. Okay. I think there are some questions here. Okay. Maybe you can take this one. I think there's a question here that says, are there any particular programming languages or tools that are important for cloud security engineering? Maybe you could take that one.
Yeah, for programming language, there's no like a particular programming language that is needed. But what programming language is used for most of the time on the cloud is for automation. Most of the time, like if you want to if you don't want to like create your if you want to create your okay, for instance, if you want to use like a lambda function uses programming languages, and it doesn't boil down to like a particular programming language. There are different programming language you can use lambda function for. So lambda function is like a computing service, a serverless computing service. Instead of using EC2 instances, you can use lambda function for automation, for different different use cases. You can use lambda function. So using lambda function, you need a programming language to like run the function. So you can use Python, you can use Java, whatever language you are like good with, there you can use. But I usually use to advise people to like go for Python, because Python can work with all different resources, and you can use Python for web application, you can use Python for automation, you can use Python for different type of uses. But whatever programming language is cool with you, you can go ahead and use that. So there's not like a particular programming language for you to use in cloud. And then tools that are important for a cloud security engineer. Well, tools that are important are like, let's say on AWS, we have AWS IAM, identity and access management tool. So with AWS IAM, you can restrict the amount of people that have access to a particular resources, because cloud security does not have to do with only end users. It has to do with the developers as well, because there are some people that, okay, after like creating something on your environment, they can tamper with another resources that have been created. So you have to like narrow down who is authorized to like use this particular service. And we have some other tools like security hub, for that's more like a monitoring tool. to help you monitor your resources and tell you, okay, the resources that are going into the public that's not meant to be public. That one works with like compliances and the rest. There are like more tools like that you can go. That's not coming to my head right now. Okay, yeah, we have for networking and for the networking aspect too. We have the AWS Wax. We have the network access control list. Like we have security group. There are a lot of tools on there. That's why I said from the beginning that you need to like understand the basic of cloud computing and cloud computing on whatever provider you're using. Like you need to understand what each resource does. So you'll be able to know which tools you want to use for security. You need to be able to know which tools you want to use for your servers. Be able to know which tools you want to use for your storage, which tools you want to use for your database, for your querying. There are a lot of like services on the cloud that you can use for security. So it boils down to like knowing the basics, understanding the resources first before then going as far as, oh, you want to like secure all your infrastructure in the cloud. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very, very much. I guess that's the last question we have for now. All right. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you very much, Fiyinfoluwa, for
Yeah,
joining the
thank
session. I also want to thank myself. I guess the moderator had some network issues, so he's nowhere, so we
you.
have to moderate ourselves. I just in the session here. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined the session. Don't forget to follow the Linktree link, which has been posted to join the community, AWS Security Group community for West Africa, user group for West Africa. Join, connect, link up with people. I mean, there was a conference a couple of weeks ago. If you missed that, that's fine. A lot of pictures and videos have been shared on that. So just connect, join with the community. You meet experts, people who have experience, and you also see people who also do not have so much experience also, so you can learn, you can grow to your skills. I think I saw someone asking about internship position and projects. So for now, I don't have any direct place you can get internships from. But like I said, when you link up with the community, you can meet people physically, virtually, ask questions, link up with them in the community, link up with them on LinkedIn, on Twitter, wherever you find them. And then another thing you can do is there is a link that I shared a couple of weeks ago. I think I'll give them to share again, which has to talk about 10 projects you can build on AWS. 10 projects you can build on AWS. Now, what these projects do for you is that these projects take you across the major services in AWS, from storage to compute to machine learning to Alexa, that's Lex, to a couple of different AWS services that you can work with. Building a 3-tier architecture service application that has a database, has an application layer. So these 10 projects are things you can actually do on your own. Now, I'll give you one extra secret to doing these 10 projects. Apart from just doing these 10 projects from the UI, the next thing you can do is learn infrastructure and code and write them as infrastructure as code and push these things to your Git repo. This is why you need to be in the community. Trust me, you won't hear this outside. You won't hear it elsewhere. Don't just know how to use your console. Learn how to use infrastructure as code to do
Yeah.
these things so that you can deliver and be more of a high value person. Thank you very much. Let me hand over to Oladimeji now
Yeah.
to close since
Thank
he's
you
here.
very much. I mean, I have a short system crash, so I have to join with
No
my phone.
problem.
So, yeah, it's nice having you. I mean, Fiyinfoluwa, you have shared wealth of knowledge and experience. One thing I enjoy is practical experience, and that you have done justice to through whichever question. So, again, if you want to join AWS Security West Africa community, go through our Linktree link, or you can go through our Twitter, join us through Meetup and the other platform. So it's nice having each and everyone here, and I'm privileged to host Ewere and Fiyinfoluwa. Thanks to Blessing, our producer, and every leaders. So at this point, we will have to draw the curtain, and nice each up everyone again. See you some other time when we'll be hosting a section like this. Join the community so that you can get access to opportunities like this. And to get the book, go through that link shared, and you can get it on the platform. So thank you very much. See you some other time.
Thank you.